And it's crazy because you look at the Dutch roster, and I don't think there's anybody that plays on a bad team.
No, they got
Like,
you look at their roster, and all I see are a bunch of dogs, because that's what they all are. Dogs. DAWGS.
Yeah, I know what you mean. DAW, like the type of dogs you want fighting with you. Totally.
That's what I mean.
And this is a really strong team. I won't be surprised if they go to the final.
I put a couple bucks on them.
You know what? I will. I actually, you know what? The fact that the Dutch have always produced good players, I want them to at least win one World Cup.
Man, this could be the year. DPG. I'm renaming this stream. This is the year for Netherlands. This is the year for the Dutch.
And this is like a very well-rounded team. It's not like if you look at England where you have holes in defense and potential holes in the midfield and then strikers. This team looks very well-rounded.
So, I got a question for you guys. Do you guys think the World Cup winners curse lives on and France goes out of the group stage? Or do you think the French team is just too good?
I
don't
see them.
Benzema, Mbappe, Donnarumma.
But the Benzema is getting up there in age.
Yeah, he is.
So I don't see them like. I don't know. They might not actually. Who's on their group? I gotta look at their group now.
Australia, Tanzania, and Denmark. I nailed it, didn't I?
Let me see. World Cup.
Australia, France, Denmark, and Tanzania, I think.
Tunisia. I thought Tanzania. If you said Tanzania, I was like, wait, what? They made it?
I can't pronounce that.
Tunisia. I don't see this being as a tough group, though. That's the thing. It's like, I don't.
I think France and Denmark move out of that group.
Yeah, I don't see France losing Australia or Tunisia. It's gonna be France and Denmark.
I said they might draw. They might draw Australia.
I don't know.
That's my bold prediction. France and Australia draw.
Who is in this Australia team that scares you?
No way. Yeah. No one.
I'm actually gonna look at their squad.
Did you watch the game that they played against Peru?
No, I did not.
No. It was 0-0 for 125 minutes. Australia advanced all penalties. And Gillespie, the Orlando keeper, he came up with some huge saves in that game. I did that game live on the channel. On my channel, I remember that.
So they're pretty much a mixed bag of players. So you got guys that play in the Australian league.
I know nothing about the Australian league.
Yeah, it's kind of like I compare it to the USL league. Some guys that play in Japan, and Osaka and Okayama.
Well, they have a couple Chinese players. Players who play in China.
That's what they got a guy playing in Scotland and Hibernian.
The crew have the player Milos Decker.
Yeah. Yep.
That's who I was saying. Who I was thinking about.
Yeah, Milos Decker. Yep, that's the only guy out of this whole squad. I mean, you got a guy that plays in Stoke City. You got a guy that plays in Brescia in Italy. You got Aaron Mui that plays in Celtic, but other than that, I don't. I mean, you have guys that play in Middlesbrough and Hearts and St. Pauli, and after that, everything is mostly just a mixed bag.
You know, SC St. Pauli was founded after World War II. As like they were founded during World War II as like an anti-Nazi.
Yeah.
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 They have a pretty interesting history.
They have a bitter rivalry with another team. They're like very, they they like hate each other because the other one's more of a conservative team.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what's the name of the. Let's see. And he's a pirate flag too.
What I'm trying to say is FC St. Pauli is a very, very political club, like Oakland Roots in the ESL.
What's so special about Oakland Roots?
I don't know.
Huh.
That's like a random team. That is a very random team. Oakland Roots.
They're a championship team and a USL championship team. Look them up.
Yeah, but what's so like you mentioned like they're political. I don't
know. I saw a YouTube video about it once. I'm gonna have to track that back. But to what I was saying about St. Pauli, yeah, they're a very
Hamburg SV.
Yeah.
That's a cross on Barbie's Hamburg SV.
Hamburg.
Or
hamburgers sound good right now.
Oh, yeah, I didn't eat lunch, so yeah, that sounds good. Or Hansa Rostock.
German soccer's fun. It's fun to watch.
I always thought they were like, you know what? German soccer is very physical, though. I give them that.
Same with Italian soccer.
Yeah.
Have you watched I don't watch. Sometimes I'll dip into French soccer, and the only way I can watch French soccer like legal is by totally legal means.
All right.
But I don't know. And I don't watch much. I really only pay attention to MLS, Premier League. I'll dip my toe into the championship a little bit. I'll get my feet wet in the Bundesliga. I watch a little bit of Serie A.
I know you've been loving that Arsenal, dude. What is up with Arsenal? Are they gonna win EPL?
Look, this is a saying that someone said on Twitter, and I thought it was funny.
What?
You know, this is what people think of Arsenal. Some people, it's like seeing an elephant on a tree. You don't know how I got, you don't know how I got up there, but all you know is that eventually it's gonna come down. That's what someone wrote about Arsenal. I personally think that Mikel Arteta is a really good head coach, and he might be the one that might take him to the title this season. I got a good feeling
about it. Man City, and Holland. I don't know if Holland's an alien or a cyborg or a Terminator or what, but man's unstoppable.
Yeah, eventually he's gonna have to run out of steam.
Like, as a defender, how do you stop that? Like, I don't know.
I mean, you gotta have a really good. I mean, what's a good defender to you?
I don't know. Too bad Norway's not in the World Cup.
I mean, when I think of really good defenders, the names that pop in my head are Franco Baresi, Maldini. Who else? Fernando Hierro.
Yeah.
Legends. Because those are the guys that you remember because they're legends.
Yes.
Defenders. If you don't remember a defender's name, chances are he was a decent defender. Maybe one that has some club legendary to it, but not like those guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, can you guys think of any defenders right now that could stop Haaland?
No.
No. There's nobody on America. There is a goalkeeper, Gaga Slonina. He's gonna have to learn. He's gonna be in the same league.
He is.
Slonina's gonna start for Chelsea anytime soon.
He's not.
Thank you.
If if Chelsea starts him right away, they're going to ruin him.
That
That's a lot of pressure on a kid that's only 18 years old.
that Kepa kid for Chelsea who's currently starting, he's pretty good. Pretty good. Kepa
Something like that, yeah.
Kepa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been decent, but I mean, Gaga is they bought him for the long haul. They also bought him for the American marketing angle that they're getting from Pulisic. They're probably seeing numbers from Americans that are like, well, I wish we could play him. So let's try another American.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't they loan Gaga back to Chicago?
This current year, but not this next year. And to be honest, I hope he doesn't come back. I hope he goes to a more challenging situation.
Like goes to the championship or League One?
Would you say the championship's an upgrade? Yes, it gets him into England, and he needs to start. And I think DPG was talking about this last time. He was just saying, Gaga's got to get experience of being abroad, being away from his family. Just having that type of experience is going to help him go to the next level himself, because he hasn't had to do that yet.
Yeah, and you have to put him in a situation where it's not that, it's because if you put Gaga right now in the Premier League, for Chelsea, and Chelsea is they're fighting for the Premier League title. That's a lot of pressure to put on a young goalkeeper. You want to start him, you want to start him off slow.
You don't want. They're not fighting for a title anytime soon. Now they're fighting for top 4.
They want to go to the Champions League, yeah, but that's still a lot of pressure. There's still, there's a difference between him starting for Chelsea versus him starting for Norwich City in the Championship league. So, one of them is not like the other. So
one of these things is not like the other.
Exactly. So it will be a disservice to put Gaga in that situation where he has to start for Chelsea.
Right.
Smart money will be, hey, go loan him out to a championship team, let him get some experience, let him get some games under his belt, possibly keep him on there till, maybe he needs at least and this is like the bare minimum. He needs at least a year of English football experience.
Mm-hmm. And I think loaning him out to a mid-table championship club would be the right move.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So he gets that, like you said, DPG, just so he gets that English football experience. Because, trust me, I try to catch every championship game that I can if there's not a Premier League game that I'm covering, or like I what I'm trying to say is I usually try to catch the Friday afternoon championship.
Do you think
game.
Gaga's one of America's brightest prospects? Because if we're not bringing him to the World Cup, what are we doing then with our brightest prospects?
Who are you asking, me or?
I'm asking both.
So the thing about Gaga, there is potential there. There's a lot of potential. I mean, James, you and I, we saw that, when he played for the Fire. I see him. I'm hoping that he becomes a regular starter not only for Chelsea but for the national team. And I will want him to get the experience of being in a Champions League. I want him to get the experience of him being in a Champions League final. All that good stuff. And you know what? And out of all the American players that are currently playing in England, he probably has a better chance of blossoming into a really, really good player.
It feels like it right now, right? And he's just landing there. And we also don't even think he's going to a good situation, but we're just like, Gaga feels like he's going to do it.
Yeah, it's not. This is a different situation because this is not like, like a Weston McKennie where, he went through the academy in Europe, or got his start in Europe.
the Schalke Academy.
Schalke.
Schalke,
Yep.
yeah.
Schalke,
So it's this is not like a Christian Pulisic who started out in Dortmund academies alongside with Gio Reyna. This feels different because we as Fire fans got to experience that for about a year and a half.
Fire fans got to experience that.
You know, when I mean James and I, not you, Mr.
Yeah,
not you,
Connor,
Mr.
cut
Columbus
yourself
Crew.
out when he says we.
Yeah. So, as Fires fans, we got to experience that. We saw a kid that, hey, he stepped up. Even before he became a regular starter, there was already rumors and whispers of this kid's potential.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of people saying, hey, this kid is this kid has the stuff,
And
we got to experience it. And he had the stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Not only did he have the stuff, he had the stuff and then some. He is really the reason that Ezra Hendrickson is probably not fired. Because if this team had a worse goalkeeper, this Fire team this year, oh my God, DPG, don't you think it's even worse?
And then the thing is that he had 11 clean sheets for an 18-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
11 clean sheets.
18-year-old on a wooden spoon placed team. The talent was not there. He was the reason for these clean sheets.
And
this is go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say he's the reason why you guys didn't lose a bunch of games by 4+ goals.
Exactly.
And it's not like this is not something that we haven't tried out before. The one guy that for some reason popped in my head was Richard Sanchez, who was 19, 20 years old. We try to give, him being a former U20 goalkeeper, player for the U.S. team, a chance, and he was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
DPG, I mean, we've also seen both Sean Johnson and Gaga Slonina play for this club. I can unequivocally say the future of the U.S. men's national team is not with Sean Johnson. It is with Gaga Slonina. I don't know why you waste one more drip drop on Sean Johnson when you have a player like Gaga Slonina there. You don't waste one more sliver of development time. You get Gaga Slonina in there. You get Sean Johnson, the milkman, who's had an impressive career, out. And let him be the best, one of the best in MLS. But Gaga is no longer going to be one of the best in MLS because he's bigger than MLS. And we need to get that into our U.S. men's national team World Cup squad.
Thing. You guys may or may not know this, but I'm going to say my piece and then dip out of here because I realized it's 5 till 11 and I'm starving. Sean Johnson is a free agent at the end of the season.
And he's very worthwhile signing for a decent to good MLS squad, right? Would you not agree?
He's only 33 years old.
I was going to say, would you guys accept him back in Chicago?
100%.
Of course, and on a heartbeat. He's a fan favorite.
And also he's starter worthy in MLS.
Yeah, you won't be. There was a lot of people scratching their heads when what's his face started over Sean Johnson.
Cancer guy. Sorry to refer to
Matt
Matt Lampson.
There you go.
But he beat cancer. And props to him.
Yeah, props to Matt Lampson, cool guy. But we were scratching our heads. Well, why is Matt Lampson starting over Sean Johnson? And to this day, I'm like...
And to this day, look, DBG, Matt Lampson not starting. Sean Johnson still starting.
Yeah, and it's like... My thing is, why did they let him go? Why was the coaching staff so bent to keep him on the bench and versus starting him? It was a dumb move on the coaching staff.
Coaching and management, absolutely.
Management, yep. So...
All right.
And keep this in mind. He's only 33 years old, so we might see him in another World Cup cycle.
I got
He'll
a
be
better
30
question. Connor, would you want to be able to sign the milkman to the Columbus crew?
Room.
Would he be an upgrade?
Over Room?
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
Room,
he's an upgrade over Room, in my opinion.
Well, you got to think. Room is year in, year out one of the best goalkeepers in the league. I mean, some of the saves this man pulled off this year.
Hey, clean sheets he had.
I couldn't do it.
Let's look it up. Look up his clean sheets.
Yep, I gotta look at the clean sheet. Yep.
Because I do think that's a good
the-
indicator of a goalkeeper's talent.
Let's see here. There's yellow team, mustard team, piss color team. Let's see. Yeah, you guys really should have kept the old logo. That's an ugly logo.
See what he's doing, James? He's just trying to start.
Oh, dude, you don't agree. Dude, we've had our dude, Connor. You got to look at Fire as sympathizing brethren as far as logos. Like we feel free that we could talk shit because, dude, we've gotten some shit logos, and we know it. But also, we know good logos when we see them, and I think you do too. And like the original, there's some good crew logos. We will not debate you, but then there's bad crew logos, and you could be honest about them.
So, Eloy Room only had 9 clean sheets this season.
That's only 9, DPG. That's really good. Okay, that's good. Only 9.
Yeah, and he's 33 years old.
What was Sean at?
Oh, Sean, I think Sean might have taken a cake on. He might have been one of the guys that Sean Johnson. Let's see.
And Sean Johnson's on one of the better teams in one of the worst stadium situations in MLS.
I say if NYC repeats this season as MLS Cup champs.
Wow,
then
don't see it happening.
I'm trying to finish.
I'm sorry. I am an interrupter. Go on.
I say if New York City, that's a big if. Emphasize the if. Bold it. Italicize it. If New York City repeats as champions, I see Sean Johnson sticking around for another year or two.
Without a doubt.
But if they get knocked out by Philly, I see Sean Johnson going somewhere else.
By the way, he had 15 clean sheets this season.
Don't you see Sean Johnson maybe retiring a New York City Flyer? Maybe he's got 2 years left. He signs a 3 or 4 year deal. He plays 2 more years and he retires.
But that's
maybe
the thing too.
3.
Like, will Sean Johnson, is he gonna take like the max contract he can before he goes to DP status, or he's gonna want a DP contract?
No, he's gonna go max 2 DP, but not DP contract. I think he knows how you can't do that and just let. Dude, DP, they got to get rid of this. The DP, it just doesn't make sense. It really sandbags your spending that you have to spend that much money on one player. You can't spread it out.
They need to get rid of the salary cap and follow the European model. Each club gets a set amount of money, and the MLS says, look, we're only going to give you this X amount of money a year. And that's the only money you can use to spend to bring in new players or sign new contracts. The only way you can get more money is if you sell any of your players. Mic drop.
DPG?
It's give or take in this league. You have to sell players to make room for new players. So
that's what I'm saying, though.
It's
young
tough,
players. Ideally, you want to sell young players, kind of like the IX model.
Young players don't normally demand a big contract. Veteran players demand a big contract.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, how much do you think we were paying for? I don't think we were paying more than $200K for Gaga Solnina. A season. So,
and we just sold him for over $10 million.
Exactly, close to
Fire.
between 10 to 15 million. So
And you guys can use that money to bring in a DP goalkeeper next year.
no, but why waste a DP slot on a goalkeeper?
That's what New England did.
And look how far that got him.
True.
So I think DP slots, you
Should be
kind of want to
reserved.
reserve those should be used for like attacking players and strikers.
What about the
Unless you're really bad, unless you're horribly bad defensively, you know, maybe, but you can get away with, you know, paying someone 600K a year, you know, using TAM, GAM, you know, kind of like what we did with Rafa Chichos. So,
All right, guys, it is.
I agree, though. I'm sorry. Yes, thanks for hanging out here, Connor. Appreciate it. Check out Connor Knows Soccer. Connor knows a lot of shit. Let's go, Connor.
you know what? I'm gonna call it a night too.
DPG, the 10-year plus season ticket holder, legend extraordinaire. Thank you, brothers, for joining us here on Spit and Fire. Appreciate you guys. Last comments. You guys want to go ahead?
Well, let's see what happens next week. Should be interesting playoff match this weekend. And of course, you have the World Cup to look forward to, and hopefully they'll announce the rosters soon enough for the U.S. men's national team.
Connor?
I think Connor's gone, man.
DPG, dude. Appreciate you always join us, man, dude. Another fucking fun talk that I'm gonna have to cut up, and it'd be like, wow. My brother loves listen. He gives me the comments and the after the fact. He's like, I love these little comments. I love when you guys have DPG on, and oh my. So let's keep it going, brother. I love it.
All right, we'll do it again next week.
All right,
Take
brother.
it easy, James.
Have a good one.
You too. Good night.
Thanks for joining us, DPG and Connor. And guys, we'll keep going, guys. I mean, like, seriously, I got a couple other thoughts written down here in addition to what they were talking about. I think we were honest. What a freaking conversation it was, guys. I love. This is so freaking sick. We the special little thing we got here, and I enjoy listening to it after the fact sometimes, because like sometimes I black out and I'm just in the conversation, I'm in the moment, I'm living it with you guys. I got to do a couple. I'm literally juggling 16 different parameters here. My guests are juggling hopefully a couple different. They're juggling a couple. We know a couple different parameters, and like what we're able to achieve here, it's stupendous, man. It's stupendous, guys. Chat chiming in always with some incredible comments. We got some incredible people here, guys. It's just a fun hangout. What are we doing? About 10 o'clock? Let's go a little bit more. But as for this U.S. men's national team,